Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are checking in a little bit early because it's 9:29. 9:29 at 9:30. We're going to a live stock market in just a few seconds. So let's get there soon. All right? Let's check out the videos. Until then, later. So I was so excited. I was so excited I might have played myself. So I was so excited that I got in on um, the stock from yesterday. I was so excited to get back to Aladdin's Touch. I think I might have made a boo boo. Let me see. Hold on, hold please. Hmm. What did I get it at? You see now it's at 182. All right, 182. Let's see what we got it at. 188. All right, 183. Okay, so that's still also two opposite order. And look up two. Um, I got that in. So let's see. Bought the stock at 0.832. Oh wait a minute. I missed something. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, I missed something. Okay. Shoot. Explain in a second. Hmm. Um, 118. 1, 1, 1. Hold on, please. Hold on, please. Hold on. Oh, okay. All right. So I got it in. Ultimately, I got it in. I got it in too late because my Aladdin's touch already happened. It already happened. See, what I did was I bought it, as you can see. Well, let me. So I bought it after the dip, and I bought it here towards the end of this first candle, right? And so my idea was to just buy here and sell someplace around here, right? But I did that. I bought it here, but then I accidentally put it up here, way up here as a sell point. I was like, what's going on? And then I figured it out, and then I got down to the sell point, but now it's below my sells. So I would have made it. I would have made it, but now it's below. So I'm gonna hold here for a moment to see if it comes back up. See if it comes back up, and that'll get me right. So what it was just a mistake in logic. I put in see it says 0.019. I put in 0.09, no one. And so that shot me way up here. And then I was like, wait, what's going on? So yeah, gotta be careful. Got to be careful. Got to be careful. So anyway, we're gonna see if this is gonna fly. So we've officially gone back to Aladdin's touch because we were convinced by all the things that came out to me. Let me show you an example of what I mean. For those of you that missed yesterday, let's see, where is it now? Let's pick present. No. Oh, yeah, I can just go here and share this tab. So this is it. This is it. This is what I ran into while I was jogging yesterday. And I was like, okay, that must be a sign for me to go back to what I'm used to, go back to what I'm what I've trained on, and just trying to do Aladdin's touch. So if I had put in the right number this morning, I would have been smooth sailing. Would have been smooth sailing. Would have been chilling. But we are now playing with it. We're gonna see if it goes. Let's see how we go. So shit. All right. So it looks like it might go. What am I? I'm at like 120. Yeah, I'm about right there. So we got to see if it's going to come back up. If it's going to come back up. So we're going to let it ride. We're going to let it ride. We're going to let it ride. So Ashe. I got back on my Aladdin though, so I'm very excited about that. And now we'll look out for the dip and rip also. But anyway, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. All right. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do my other things. Basically, I'm going to keep this on the background. But listen, I have to tell you guys about this. Fee King hooked me up to do a speaking engagement yesterday, and it was via Zoom. and I didn't know what to expect. But it was it was it was incredible. It was incredible. That's what I gotta say. It was incredible. It was a group out of Connecticut, and excuse me, I checked in early, and they were exercising. They were all in their various screens. They were exercising. I was like, "What is going on?" And so they brought me online later, and just asked me to speak, tell my story, and take it from there. And so I told my story, and man, these questions were serious. These were serious questions because this was a group of people who've had strokes. This is a collection of people who have had strokes. So not only did they know the name of the stroke that I have a hard time pronouncing and was able to rattle it off, he also knew about the percentages and how only 17% survive, right? So that was heavy. And then the question that really got me was this one. He said, "How could you run with a paralyzed leg? How could you run with a paralyzed leg?" I was like, "Ooh, wow, wow." And I dashed off an answer at the time, but it's been really sitting with me because the question to me is, how did I run with a paralyzed leg? How? And you know what I have to go back to? I have to go back to when I first woke up in what was a hospital. I didn't know it was a hospital then, but this space, man. I remember the pastor at my mom's church came by to check on me, and at some point he was the only person in the room. And I was trying to get up out the bed to use the restroom. And he was like, "No, no, 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 don't get up, don't get up, don't get up." And he was trying to get in touch with the wait staff to come in, the staff to come in. And and later on, after everyone was gone, after lights went down low, it was just me. I was like, I want to try to go to the bathroom. Like no one was there to help or facilitate. And I took out all of all of the leads. Mind you, I did not know it was a hospital, right? Because of my my thing that makes me in that thing that makes me forget everything was very strong with me. And I didn't know where I was, what I was doing, but I made it my goal to get up and go to the restroom. Right? It was right there. I could see it. It was very close, right? And I had to unplug all those wires. All those wires. I did. And I had to do it with my left hand too, because my right hand wasn't moving. Do them all, take them all off. And then I had to move because after you take that one out, there's that long beep, long beep, right? So I took that off and I struggled to get out of bed. Struggled to get out of bed. And yeah, that's when I found out that my right leg was not working. And I struggled for it. I fought for it. I struggled for it. I did everything with my left hand, my left leg. I just like dragging. It was just a few yards, but I made it there, made it to the restroom, made it and made it back before they got to me. But I remember when I got back to the bed, I just fell in it like this, like face planted, right? Because I didn't have the energy to turn myself over. I didn't have the energy to turn myself over. So I was just face planted, like I'm just gonna lay here for a while, right? And fell asleep. Oh, here's Reverend Mel. Reverend Mel's getting on. So I'll finish the story with her. Hold on, let me bring her on.
Good day. Good day, Sekou.
Hey. So
Hey.
I was talking about the speaking the speaking engagement that Fee hooked me up with yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about the questions they asked me and how incredible the questions were. And one of them really struck me. He asked me, how in the world was I able to run with a paralyzed leg? And I just threw something off at the time, but I have to really think about it. I was telling everyone that I remember waking up and trying to get up to move to the bathroom and being unable to do that, and me ultimately struggling enough to make it to the restroom. And I got into this part, so I face planted coming back from the bathroom. I went to the bathroom and then I came back and fell on the bed like this, and then I had to wait for the people to come and move me and get me right. But I remember that's when I discovered that I couldn't move my leg,
Mm.
and I was like, okay, I have to do this more often. Like that was my response. My response was I have to go to the bathroom more often instead of less often, right? And they put me in all the wires again, and I waited till nighttime, till pitch dark at night. I took everything off, and I struggled to go to the restroom. And I just kept doing it, and it was pissing them off so badly. It pissed them off so badly, but I just had to do it,
Yeah.
and that's what I was doing. So my right leg still it's still not right.
Mm.
It's still oh, bless you. It's
Thank you.
still a blank space, so to speak. So that I can still run with it, but I'm still trusting. I'm still trusting that my left foot's going to hit. My right foot, I hope it hits.
Mm.
My left foot's going to hit. My right foot, I hope it hits. Hope it hits. And so that's how I was doing it. And when I first got out to mom's house, it's when I first tried to do this on my own. Now I tried all kinds of things thus far, but I tried to get out on my own and walk around the block. And I made it about 10 blocks. Those concrete squares.
Mm-hmm.
I made it about 10 of those blocks, and I was like, I need to get back inside. And I just went back inside, and so I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think it's not that I'm running without. It's not like I'm running and I have assurances. I have no assurances, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm running despite not having assurances. Despite not having assurances that I can still go. And my promise to God, to the universe, was that if you knock me down, I'll stop running. That'll be the day that I stop running. And it's been to this day, I haven't stopped running because I've stumbled, but my knees didn't touch the ground. I've wobbled, but my knees didn't touch the ground. And I was like, all right, well, that didn't count. Let's keep on running. And so that's how I'm able to do it. And I think that's what I really need to go back to that group and share, because that question really lived with me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your inspirational talk. I know it was inspiring for people because you were speaking to people who have experienced a stroke.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
the audience.
Yes. Then they knew how to pronounce the stroke that I never pronounce for me. And they're like, oh, you got that one. And I was like, oh shoot, they know what they talk about. And they were asking me questions that related to them, and asking me questions about, about running with a paralyzed leg. And I was like, how did I do that? How did I do that? How do I do it still to this day, every day? Because every day, yesterday, same thing. Like I have gotten good at faith in the right side, but it's still empty. It's still like, I still feel like I'm running like this. If people say I'm running, I look normal, but I still feel like I'm running like this, right? And I just move forward on faith. I move forward. On faith.
And that's a powerful message, to move forward on faith in everything, right? In everything, to move forward on faith.
Yeah.
Instead of fear.
Yes. Ashe.
That's powerful.
Yeah. And I think I didn't make this as strong as I could have. But because these are people who have been diagnosed with having a stroke, right? And I didn't make this as strong as it could have, that I was not confronted with the idea of having had, well, the reality of having had a stroke till much, 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 much later in the process. I told the story, but I don't think they understood the time. But man, that when that woman was checking me off, just a check off, and then she got down to stroke, and I was like, stroke? What? that was real. That was real.
And again, that was so brilliant of your mother.
Yes, bravo, Mom. Bravo.
So
Mom.
Brilliant. Because
she was sitting right there. My mom was sitting right there when she was checking off the list. I said, I looked at my mom. My mom was like, she did not say anything. She did not say anything. And I was like, okay, well, let's go. Let's move forward. Yeah. I caught you with your mouth full.
Because there's something about had a tickle in my throat.
Yeah.
There's something about not having a label for something.
It's something for the opposite of having a label for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, both ways. Because as soon as we start to label things on a subconscious level or even an unconscious level, we may start to conform to that label.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? But goodness gracious. But if there's no label, it's the sky's the limit. You're creating the label for yourself.
Right. And I had complete amnesia. And so I didn't know where I was, what I was doing. But I think having the term, having some doctor come and say, "Sir, you've had a stroke." La, da, 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 da. I think that would have affected me. Kept me still where I was. I doubt that I would have gone to use the restroom. I doubt that I
Mhm.
would have gone to use the restroom.
Mhm.
That I would have taken off all those wires. All those wires. I used to piss the staff off. Take off all those wires and go to the restroom and come back. But I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know where here is. I didn't know it was a hospital. I'm just like trying to. I think I was trying to set a goal.
Mhm.
I was trying to set a goal, goal, and then I wasn't moving my right hand side. I wasn't moving my right hand side at all until they set me up with a physical therapist. But I was,
Mhm.
it was quiet. It was just like dead until they assigned me a physical therapist. And I'm like, I gotta move it. I have to forcefully move it. Like it's not gonna happen on its own. Like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And yeah, that's been hard. That's been
Yeah. And it would be something if they did a case study, if they did research
yeah.
and, let's say 20 people had a stroke and 10 of those people, they tell them that they had a stroke. And then the other 10, they don't tell them anything.
Mm.
I wonder what their path of recovery would be.
Didn't we read this? Didn't we read this?
Oh,
One of those doctors says a basketball, a group of basketball people.
I don't know.
Oh shoot! So let me. This is what I think I remember. One of our new thought leaders took everybody over to some place where they give you know basketball people their surgeries, like a place for the NBA, right? So there's
Uh-huh.
all this stuff for the NBA around them, and then they gave them they gave them a sliver, like uh, a knife, a knife. They cut their knees,
Mhm.
but that's all they did. They just punctured it. And that's it. And after they knocked them out, they put that and put it, and then all of them, 100% of them did better. They were they were playing games with the NBA because they believed they had the surgery. They did not have any surgery. They did not
Yeah.
have any
I
surgery.
mean, there's so many stories about the placebo effect,
Mm,
that you just by thinking that you took the pill that's supposed to do something, there's a strong probability that you will get better, even if it was just a sugar pill.
yeah,
But so I wonder if anyone has ever done that for people who, even like people who have cancer or any life-threatening experience, if you don't give the person a label for it, I'm just curious what their recovery would be
yeah.
like.
Based on my basketball story, I think the story would go the way you think. That the ones who weren't told anything would, oh wait a minute now, would regulate to their personality type. It would regulate to their personality. Like if they got a get up and go attitude, and that's where they would get up and go. But if they got to sit
Mm,
back and relax attitude and wait for the doctors to tell them, then that's going to play out. So it's
mm,
a real test of who you are. So that was a real test of who I was in that moment.
mhm.
I was hungry for something, something. I wanted to do something, and that's all I could figure out was I got to take off all these wires and struggle to the bathroom. Well, that's what I have to do. That's what I have to do then.
And it's interesting because you were in that mindset before you even had the stroke. You had
That's
been in
probably what
that
it is.
mind, huh?
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, you were in that mindset, let's say starting in 2019.
Wow.
So you was already in that mindset of changing, of transforming your life.
Mel, if I hadn't been in that mindset, I would have been sitting there waiting. I would have been sitting there waiting for them to tell me something, give me something. But I wouldn't have been fighting for anything. I would not have been fighting anything because I'm thinking about the me of before. Me before would be sitting there waiting. Been sitting there waiting. It would not be pushing forward. Would not be pushing. Got no information. All right, let's go make something happen. That was not me. Wow.
So look at that.
Look at that.
Another example of yourself back then preparing for your future self.
Yes.
Just like writing the book before you had the stroke. Just like, all of these things you could list that put you in a better position to not just survive a stroke, but to thrive after having a stroke. Because you thrive. You did a whole New York City marathon 4 months later. That's just crazy.
The reaction, the people yesterday was like, "What? You did what? You did what?" It was so funny to hear that reaction. I was like, "Yeah, I did it." You finished? I was like, "Yeah, I finished." Like, what?
Yes. And you finished in good time because we kept telling you to slow yourself down. You was going. Yeah.
I was in there finishing with the group of people. Like, yeah. Wow. Yeah, that was
that's powerful. That's not a mindset of someone who's going to sit back and wait. That's not a mindset of someone who's a victim. That's not a mindset of someone who's like, why did this happen to me? That's not the mindset.
You know what? You know what? Those attitudes did not exist in my mind because of the education, right? But more and more of my memories from the past have evolved into me, and now I'm like, I don't know what's going on, right? And now I'm like, marathon. I ran a marathon.
2 times.
I feel it now, right? Yeah, right. And the difference in the time from one marathon to the next marathon was extreme. Like first I was in it. I was in it. Crowds of people were around me, all these things. But the second time, that was me and you. You came waiting around the curve. I was like, there's no one around the curve. I was still expecting there to be a crowd of people around that curve, around that park. What was it? The Mount something park?
It was Marcus Garvey Park, yeah.
I was still expecting because I had been imprinted from the year before. All the people. And I turned around, I was like, it's you.
Come on, Sekou.
I was like, what is going on? It's just her. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Woo. that a lot happened in here. I didn't say that a lot happened in here, but I was like, woo, 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 woo. So lucky you walked with me the whole way back, the whole way forward, because I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
No, you didn't have to say anything. Like it was obvious to me that you were feeling some kind of way.
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly why you were feeling some kind of way, but I could tell that you was feeling some kind of way.
I was texting you to make sure that you're there, to be there in front of all the throngs of people. You could find me. And I turned around the corner. I was like, you like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then I
Yes.
asked you, like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? And then you told me about you were going to propose to Fee.
Yes. 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 And she didn't hang in there, but I got to propose on her show the next day.
Yes, that
So
following
Marathon
Monday.
Monday. Marathon
Yes.
Monday. Woo!
Yeah.
But man, I was like, I don't know.
Oh, that
Wow.
whole experience is just etched in my memory. It's just one of those things I won't ever forget.
You know what? The part that I remember, the part that's etched in my mind, is we were coming up on the last leg of the park, and this guy was doing this,
Mm.
praying for somebody. And I was like, "Who's he? Who's he doing that to? Who's he doing that to?" And the guy came running up, said, "What's your name?" I was like, "Sekou." And then the guy started doing Sekou. Like I was like, "What is happening? What is happening? What's happening?" And they were just like, I mean, they were using my name. They were calling out
Yes.
my name. I was like, what is happening? And then I got the energy to run. And when before that on the park, I didn't have to run.
No.
I wanted to lay down. I wanted to lay down.
Mhm.
But I could feel the energy. I was like, all right, I want to run. I want to run. Yeah. So that was incredible.
Yeah, they still had a good crowd of people towards the finish line
Yeah.
cheering
Then
you on.
it did. What happened was the person before that was telling Fee where to go, had told her to go. She told us that there was going to be no room for someone at the finish line. And I was like, she could have been there.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, because she told us the wrong thing. Like, but still, it worked out because I got to propose on her show day.
And you got to tell your story on the news.
Yeah, I don't know if that ever aired, but for those of you that don't know, the news people talked to me afterwards. Yeah,
And you told them the story, what your intention was to propose to Fee.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That was something. That was a day.
That was a beautiful day. But meanwhile, I'm supposed to be. I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and talk this out. So I'm I'm supposed to be getting my dad's nonprofit together to to earn money from from having a have from being as part of the marathon. So
Oh, one of the selected
yes,
nonprofits. Yeah,
yes,
for the marathon, to raise
yes.
money for the marathon. That's
So
awesome.
they have not done that before, and I am the one who's leading the charge, right?
Oh, the Boston Marathon
The
Fee just
Boston
put
Marathon,
in.
yeah, Boston
Nice.
Marathon, and the New York Marathon, and the Nashville Marathon, all three, right? And I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. Right? But now I look back, I said, but you did it though. You've done it twice. There's nothing wrong with you. That means you can't do it again. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of that, what's going on with your race in July?
Yeah. So I'm supposed to have a have a
Read it off your phone. Did you have everything in your phone? Go to Signal.
B King telling me to read it off of my phone because
Okay.
I have it on my phone. What are you talking about? What are you talking
Go
about?
to the text that I sent you, that I sent to your mom. It's all there.
Oh, okay. So, well, based on my weirdness about committing to the event, she had a suggestion. It was tied to you. You put up the runners. Me talking about the runners. Me talk about the run. Mel, you put me on your show on Monday.
Oh, okay. The replay.
Yeah, replay. And so I was talking about how I was doing everything, and she was like, "You can do that. Like you can do that again." And I was like, "Oh, that's now you're onto something. Now you're onto something." So basically, I'm going to do that, and also because of what happened yesterday, I was thinking about I want to be an inspiration to those people who've had strokes, who've they've had these things happen to them, and they don't know how to do what I do, how to do what I did, and inspiring them. So I want to invite them to be right there with me. And my thing was, see, I was thinking about it as a thing for everybody. Everyone put on the shirts and medals and all that stuff. But no, I want to be specifically to the people who've had strokes. I want to be specifically to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where we're going. That's where we're going. And so that's the where the fire is coming from.
Okay, so let me make sure I have this right. So instead of doing the run in July,
Yes, I'm
you're
still
going
going to run.
right, but just you're doing the 4:09, the 4 minutes and 9 second run.
I'm still going to do 4 miles and 4 miles.
4 miles and 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's to raise money for RAP, or is the fundraiser for RAP your father's nonprofit?
Yeah.
For the marathon now?
Well, separately, the marathons happen separately.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we're doing for now.
Yeah, say what we're doing in July.
What we're doing in July is we are raising money, and everybody's watching me perform my 4 miles, 4 and 9/10 of miles, like my thing. And people are watching me and saying, "Wow, I can't believe he's done that. I can't believe he was able to do that." So I want all the people. I'm seeing a box of windows, like those boxes of Zoom windows.
Uh-huh.
You see, I have all these windows. That's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing all these windows popping up everywhere and watching me.
So you're going to do a live stream of yourself running?
Yes, live stream myself running. Yes.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Who's holding you're going to hold the device for the
Fee.
Okay, so Fee's going to live stream you running.
Yeah.
And you're going to invite everyone to cheer you on virtually by some technology that people can do that through.
Yeah,
Zoom,
I'm having the same problem with as you, but I'm getting there. But yes, that's what I want. I want people to be able to. I want everyone who I spoke to yesterday to be able to log onto their computers from wherever they are. They were based in Connecticut, from wherever they are, and watch and do something in their living room. Do something for 4 minutes. Do something like that, and I'll be the champion bearer.
Okay. Yeah, so that could easily be done as a Facebook live stream or.
Yeah. And Fee says she's gonna ride her bike around and hold the camera up and all that stuff. And
Okay.
we're gonna
All right.
do what it do.
And what day is this happening?
This is gonna happen on July 14th, 12th. July 12th.
July 12th. All right. So that's about a month from now, because today is June 11th.
Yeah, a month from now. And we're just gonna blast it out to all the people who are sitting around with questions like, how can you run with a leg that doesn't move? Like that. People with those questions, like, are people who I want to speak to. I want to
Yes.
speak to you. You know.
Okay, I'm putting it on my calendar now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I think that's that time.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's our time. Let me check the status. Check the status right quick as we zoom out. And thank you for watching. I blew it. I blew it. I had it, but I missed it. Had it, but I missed it. Okay, folks, I'll explain to you why I missed it, but tomorrow, but I missed it. All right, folks.
All right. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Yeah. And now is better than perfect. All right. See you later.